My name is Marisa Barilaro Sherrington, and welcome to another wonderful home tour here on House Hunters Italy. Let's go. Buon pomeriggio, good afternoon from beautiful Tuscany, where today I am here in Orchatico, out on this beautiful property. My name is Marisa Barilaro Sherrington, and we are in House Hunters Italy, part of the country here in Tuscany, where we are based, of course. So today I'm going to just be taking you around this amazing property. As I said, we're going to look at all the lovely land, the home, the finile. There's lots of opportunities to make whatever you want. I can hear David sending up the drone now, so you'll get to see some beautiful drone photography as well as we walk around. But anyone that wants to live an organic, natural life with plenty of space, plenty of fresh air, wonderful peace and quiet when the drone's not flying, this obviously is another place for you. But you're within a couple of minutes of the little village of Orchatico. You're in easy reach, just probably took us 10 minutes drive from L'Aiatico, which is a lovely, beautiful town, and that's where Andrea Bocelli has his concerts. That's where he was born, so you're close to that. And then on top of all of that, you're a short distance, a really quick drive to the beautiful city of Volterra, wonderful Etruscan city, and as you know, that is just full of everything you could possibly need. So it's a wonderful position here to be living in, and honestly, who wouldn't want to be in a wonderful place like this? As you can see, at this time of the year, these trees produce small black olives that are ready to be picked, and you can either conserve them or you can make your own olive oil. But I'm going to just walk down now towards the homestead itself, and gosh, it's just beautiful. Oh my goodness, lovers of peace and tranquility and space, you're going to love this. My goodness me, this is breathtaking country. We are just outside of the beautiful Borgo of Orchatico on this magnificent property, which is 19 hectares. And in front of me, as you can see, there are 900 olive producing trees, so you can make your own olive oil. It's a paradise for the nature lover. And just look at those distant views. I'm just panning across now to beautiful Volterra in the distance. It's magnificent. And straight ahead, Right in front of me here, we're going to walk down directly down to where the home sits at the moment, and you'll see that it's hidden behind those exceptional oak trees that are just beautiful. And I'm going to turn around and show you the colors of nature changing at the moment in autumn. It's wonderful. But we're going to be visiting a home that is to be done up, and it's 200 square meters, plus you have an outbuilding or finile of another 80, and that can even be transferred, the same square meterage, to another part of the land. So instead of having it by your house, you might decide you want it sitting over there, for example. That can be done with permission from the council. So let's go down and visit. The olives are dropping off. They're totally ready to be picked. The owner said, do you want to come and harvest them all for us? Then you can make your own olive oil. It's almost an offer that I'd like to accept. But I don't think I have the time. Look at these amazing, hundreds of years old, wonderful oak trees. Can you imagine having a beautiful outdoor setting under the shade of these trees? I adore oak trees. Looking out onto your olive grove, up to all those beautiful forests that also belong to you. Those forests are part of the 19 hectares that belong to the property. And then as we come around, your own cypress trees, pines, and you can see the building there through. So let me take you now down to the main home. So we're now at what would be the main entrance to the home. This house dates back to the 1800s, but of course it is a project for someone. And as you can see, it does need probably plenty of work being done to it, but it has so much lovely character that once you redo the building, it's going to be a paradise for you. And I'll just show you quickly as I walk past the front. That is the fianile, or the barn, if you like, that has very ancient parts on the front and newer parts at the back. But that footprint is allowed to be taken and put on another part of the land, like I was saying before. So you can take that footprint of 80 square meters and place it wherever you like and build something new, have a beautiful, as they call it, dépendance, or little cottage somewhere else on your property. Let's go inside now. I'm to one side of the property at the moment, where there's this beautiful field which is in full sunlight all the time, except we do have some clouds. The perfect position for a pool. It's just meters away from the main house, and all of the forests that surround you are yours. They've made beautiful walkways, or what's called a sentiero, like a pathway through the forest to go for your own walks through your own forests. But the main part of the land is actually fully fenced so that you don't get wild animals come through. You won't get deer or boar or anything else come onto your property. So you're totally protected to wander around your property free of any of those fears, because I know a lot of people are not used to that. It also means, of course, that there's no hunting that goes on any of your land, which is a really important thing. And then if I just turn around, you'll see that behind this hedge, the building is popping up there. That is the beautiful town of Volterra shining in the sun. It's obviously just under a gap in the clouds, and this is the vista from the pool area. How magnificent. Now on the ground floor, I've just walked through this first room, and I'm sorry about the light. It's just got really cloudy outside, and of course there's no power here, so we're making do. But this is a lovely big large room, which is obviously the kitchen in the old days, but it does have a really lovely corner Tuscan fireplace, which are the raised fireplaces, and it's a lovely big eating kitchen. Again, of course, it needs to be totally renovated, but it would make a beautiful ground floor kitchen. Right, we've come back into the room that is just off of the right-hand side of the front door, which I said was the garage because it has a garage door. But in fact, the family's plans was to make a huge salone or living space down here, which would be so cool in the summer. You can see at one stage it was for animals, because you have the old mangers along here, like where they would eat, and that often I've seen people keep those in when they've done restorations to make it like a feature of the home, and they can look really cool. Now I'm quite zoomed in because it's the only way we can catch the light, but this is a very ancient space. There's one little window there. One of the shutters is closed, so it's actually a larger window, if you can see there. A little bit of vegetation on it. You do have water down here. Now this had an ancient stone arch, which you can actually see the beginnings of the arched wall coming up, but it was broken off. But it does have the remains on both sides. So a really good mason here in Tuscany could easily fix those walls for you if you wanted to redo something like that. I've worked with wonderful masons here, and they can do anything. And then that doorway, where you can see that slat of light, at the moment is like a garage door, but if you can imagine, with great big French doors, glass French doors there, the light that would come streaming in, then you'd walk out to your front terrace and then onto your swimming pool. If you put your pool down in front, it would be sublime. We've got another little door here that's just going through to another little storage space that you can also get to from outside. So that would be great for chairs and tables and outside things that you could just keep there and get to easily. Now I'm really trying hard here to get this extra room that is off the back of that large area we were saying could be a lounge room. And as you can see, there's yet another garage door here, and this is at the front of the house towards your drive. So you can either have it as a garage, but we were thinking what another beautiful way to open up to the light, bring more doors in here, and have a lovely front entrance with beautiful glass doors there into another lovely seating space, and make the whole ground floor all of your living space. It would just be sensational. So that we've just walked through here, and that's back into that large space I was just in, where the mangers, and there we go, the light well was there. These are the original 1800 stone stairs bringing you upstairs. And as you can see, there's a little window above the staircase with very high ceilings up here. And I'm going to take you now across to the right of the staircase into another room, which again, looks like it could make an incredible living space or kitchen. It's up to you. I'm just leaning out the window of the kitchen because there's this lovely covered terrace, which obviously I'm just not getting out to today. with the growth there, and there's the little dependance, and you can see with some of those trees cut back, which are your trees, so you can do whatever you like. You would have the most spectacular distant views out of all over Tuscany. So this is the room here, that's your door out onto your terrace. This is again that beautiful view. I can see David out droning, and that he's standing dead on the spot I said, which would look amazing with a bright blue twinkling pool there. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And this is a fabulous room with loads of space and light, and it's a dark afternoon unfortunately, so it is really luminous. And it has a lovely Tuscan fireplace, a really large one which needs to be fixed, but just the top part. But that would be sensational lit there. Can you imagine doing your grills and things there? It would just be beautiful. So this would be a lovely lounge, I think. Off that larger room, we now go into a smaller tiled room that looks out towards the front of the house. So we've driven up to the gateways. Just straight ahead, you'll see the drive. Loads of space out here, so you could create some lovely car parks and things like that out the front. Beautiful views towards the actual village of L'Ochatico. So this would make a lovely bedroom off the lounge room. Really, really lovely. Then back off the top of the staircase, we come into an even larger room here, which again needs work. But again, a much larger room again, which would make a beautiful master bedroom, I think. And again, it has windows out to the front, once again, of the property. Again, a nice light room. The clouds have just come over really dark above us, I'm afraid, but it is a lovely room as far as bedrooms go. And let's go and see what is next door to that. Well, as you can see, it is an older style bathroom, of course, with a shower and toilet and sink. But the room itself is plenty large enough to put in a modern shower, walk-in shower, update your sanitary ware there, and you would have a perfect bathroom without a doubt. And then again, just off the top of the staircase once more is the last room here, which again is a lovely large room. Now, I would be calling this a bedroom as well. I'm going to have to look at the cadastral plans, and the vendor has told me they actually did have plans drawn up. Unfortunately, there was a tragedy in the family, and that's the only reason why they didn't go ahead with doing up this beautiful building for the family. They've decided that now, with what happened, they need to let it go. But it's a beautiful, very well loved. They adore this property, and it really breaks their hearts. I'd say this would have been another beautiful bedroom, should you need another bedroom. So that would make one of the kitchen, 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms that would make it. Or you could have one as another nook, a snug room, a media room, whatever you want to have. Plenty of room for a family or for friends to come and stay. As I said, if you use the rooms downstairs as a main kitchen, for example, this beautiful room here, again, straight off on the other side, I would have been creating a really lovely lounge in here because of that beautiful chimney and the terrace outside. Now let's go and have a look downstairs also at the other building outside. We are now at the back of the house, or this, oh no, it's actually like the side, isn't it? So this is where we have the covered terrace off the room upstairs, which we were calling the salone, but now I'm not convinced. I'm thinking downstairs, the kitchen and salone and everything need to be on that ground floor, walking out to a pool, walking out to your front parking. I also wanted to show you that at some stage, some windows, that one up there, for example, have been blocked. So you can just imagine up in that room upstairs, there'd be loads more light again, which was already luminous, but that is to obviously replace. So, and if I turn around here, so that's the supposed pool area, and this is a close-up of the old little baby sort of stables which have had additions on, but because it's all on the cadastral plans, as I've repeated before, you can definitely shift all this somewhere else if you want to reuse the stones. If you want to rebuild something similar, you can use the square meterage, which is a really great thing on country properties this large to be able to do that. So I'll just come back over across. You'll see that all the clouds have come over now, and it was going to be such a sunny afternoon. The vendor's upset that we haven't got it under a beautiful blue sky, but I think you can all imagine how beautiful it is under a blue sky, and with all those oak trees and olive trees and all the nature. This house redone up, the stones repointed, different parts of it rendered. Excuse me, I talk with my hands, I get carried away. Lovely new covers on here. Look, honestly, this would be the villa of your dreams here, lost in this wonderful, wonderful countryside. It truly is a paradise. The lovely lady that owns it kept on saying to me, "You'll see, it's my paradise," and I'm so sad to let it go. But she did want to actually let me tell you her story. Her husband and her bought this property a few years back, and it was their absolute dream to have a beautiful organic farm here. They love the countryside. They love to walk through the beautiful forests. They wanted to grow fields of sunflowers beyond the olive trees. They wanted to have their business doing all those kind of things. And unfortunately, the gentleman passed away and her dreams were shattered. Unfortunately, her grown children who don't live near here couldn't really come to the rescue. So hence, this is why this property is on sale. But this property, with all the plans that they made, and they do have architectural designs for the house, so I'm happy to share those with you on their behalf as well. This, as I mentioned, is a private sale, so you will need to contact me via email for any further information.